Our teacher at youth group asked us, who liked the Avengers? I shot my hand right up. Have you ever thought, if you were an Avenger, how you plan to beat Thanos? Kyle said,
Yeah, I put on the glove and punch him in his purple face.
How is that any How about this? I have another disaster scenario. I want to hear who comes up with the best plan to survive it. Do you want to play? Again, I shot my hand up. Who is familiar with the beast from the sea from the book of Revelation? The beast makes war against the saints and conquer them. Anyone who doesn't take the mark of the beast cannot buy or sell. What will you do? This was the most exciting youth group assignment I'd ever done. So Kyle, you're playing Call of Duty on your tablet. You must be ready to present your idea then.
Yeah, it was easy.
Go on.
I go to Texas, I build an underground shelter, store lots of food.
Why Texas?
Because it's not cold, there'll be lots of people there with supplies and guns.
So lots of people there. That's important to you, the community.
I guess.
How will you keep in contact with them?
I don't know.
What is your plan after you're in your bunker with your food?
I don't know, play Call of Duty?
You're going to play Call of Duty, shooting people, until Jesus returns and hopes that he says, great shot?
Isn't he coming back with a flaming sword and going to battle the beast and his army?
Fair enough. Does anyone else agree with Kyle? Some guys raised their hands. Okay. Anyone hear an off note in Kyle's plan? No one said anything. I raised my hand and he called on me. I stood up and said, what if there are people who are on the fence about taking the mark of the beast and they're getting desperately hungry? And if we're all playing Call of Duty, we'll miss their call for help and giving them food and the gospel. I had a little grin I felt bad about, and I tried to make my lip go limp. Interesting points. Why don't you share your plan now? Joseph prepped Egypt before the Pharaoh's dream of famine, and by doing so, he played a pivotal role in reconciling and saving the family of Israel. So we know in advance we can't buy or sell. So God is giving us a chance to get ready. That could be like what Kyle said, stockpiling supplies, or it could be reconciling fellowship with the Amish. I think if they won't accept electricity, they won't accept the mark of the beast either. Okay, what do you mean by reconciling with the Amish? Are we in a fight with them now? They're kind of isolated from the rest of Christians, and I think they haven't been preaching the gospel to all the world like we're supposed to. Instead, they've been living like hermits, sheltered in America. How do you plan to reconcile with them? Talk with them, ask them what they think about the end times. What if they don't share your view about the beast and the mark being a literal once and final moment in time, but they think that's all symbolic and meant to symbolize commerce throughout the church age until Jesus finally comes back? I'd first try to convince them that their view doesn't fit as best as compared to the once and done, because there's no beast right now, nor has there ever been an image of the beast that talks and the whole world worships. Not now or in the past has there been a mark on the right hand or forehead required to buy or sell, so it's most likely a future event. Regardless, they should not be an island unto themselves. They should be preaching the gospel to the whole world, not hiding their light in barns and old farms. If I were Amish, and you, this English kid, approaches me and tells me first, my view of the end times is wrong, and second, that me and my family have been neglecting our missionary works. I'm not English, I'm American. They call all non-Amish English. But look at me, do I look English? My family or I don't look English or European either. But the Amish don't intend to be rude calling you or me English. There's lots of silly cultural difference we can poke fun at, but you have two substantial contentions with them. One about the end times, and two about missionary works. Let's get back to that. Now I'm a little confused. You said something about Joseph and the Egypt famine, and then you're telling the Amish two problems you have with them. Where is the plan for what you do if there's a mark of the beast system? Well, I'd make contact with the Amish ahead of time before the mark of the beast system So when it happens, people could move in there. If they start building extra barns, they'll hold people now, or they could be talked into letting people bike ride their food out to people who don't move into their farms. Why would they just give their food away for free when they need it for themselves? And after all, weren't you going to tell them you have problems with them and then you want free food? That's why I tell them about not living up to spreading the gospel, because they didn't always do that. Now it's time to make amends for that. Okay. Who sees anything that they'd want to improve with this idea? Kyle shot his hand right up.
The Amish don't have any guns, and they're out in the open. Revelation 13:15. In reference of the false prophet, the beast of the earth, he was permitted to give a spirit to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast could both speak and cause whoever who would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. The Amish are sitting ducks. The problem is not limited to being unable to buy food. If you don't worship the image of the beast, it is written, you will be killed. So we'd be way better off in an underground fortress in Texas.
My mind was racing. I was being beaten by someone who I thought was a thoughtless video gamer. The teacher moved on, had a few other kids present their ideas, but I was zoned out, partly mourning my pride and partly rereading the scriptures looking for a path to redeeming my beaten. Anyone else want to share? I do. Okay, well, you had a turn. Anyone who didn't? I stood up without permission and said, if anyone has an ear, he should listen. If anyone is destined for captivity, into captivity he goes. If anyone is to be killed with a sword he will be killed. This demands the perseverance and faith of the saints. It says perseverance of the saints, not preparation of the saints. Perseverance emphasis isn't on us having an elaborate escape plan. The only thing we're supposed to do is not take the mark. That's what the repeated warning is, and...
No. Perseverance means that we should have a really good stock of ammo and food, that we should do whatever to stay alive.
Perseverance is to be steadfast. Everyone will be tempted whether to eat or to not face the persecution of the beast, but we're told, don't take it.
How can we be tempted if they never find us?
It's more likely they will have the technology or demonic powers to find you, but if we're killed by the beast, read Revelation 20. We get to live 1,000 years when Jesus comes back in the millennium kingdom. So it's the best insurance to get those 1,000 years is to die by the beast. Guys, I appreciate your enthusiasm and the topic, but you're speaking out of turn. I'll have to have a talk with you and your parents about this. I didn't care that I was in trouble. I had my pride back, and I knew that pride was a sin, but it's so hard not to bite the feeling of being seen as right. I had to ride this momentum of basking in my own insight a little further before I fell again. So I said out loud as everyone was cleaning up, it's like a redo of Eden. Adam and Eve were just given one restriction. Don't eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But those alive, when the beast is there, are just told follow the one restriction. Don't take the mark of the beast. For the day you do, you will not just die, but seal your fate into the lake of fire. And if you are killed for not taking it, you will surely live in the millennium kingdom. Later on that night, when I was alone in my room, way past when I could even look to see who was looking at me and was impressed, I knew I lost the battle to pride. And I wondered if Jesus would say to away from me, I never knew you, because I wasn't concerned with getting people to know Jesus. I was concerned with getting people to know I was witty.